All right, let's try to do it today. So, Vata Hashem Yedea, you know Hashem, Yein B'Lashoini, the Saper Kol Shel Vovovi, Uvemachshavti Migvurisech. You know that I'm not able to verbalize everything that's in my heart and in my thoughts from your greatness. Adam Bikar Bal Yovin Nimshak Behemis Nidbe. Person is compared to an animal. He goes without understanding. Bal Yovin. When I stand in front of you, Zacharti, Nivhalti, Ba'ochaz Besori Palotzis. I tremble. Kifuni Peshoi, because my Averas. Peshoi are mazits, are rebellious Averas around me, are kofres. Usuvuni, Ashomai. Bossi B'Metzulas Zedoinai. I'm in the depths of my Zodoins. That's regular Zodoin. V'tabati b'mamake shigyoisi, and I'm drowning in the depths of my shregegs, my mistakes. Ushotafasni shiboilas chatoisai, being swept away. That's like a river. I'm being swept away. The flow of my chatois v'oshev al libi v'omer, and I say to myself, Eicha posachti pi. How could I open my mouth? How did I open my mouth? Like either sofa. How can I say anything in front of Hashem, creator of everything? So psukim. I'm a Baal Mum from top to bottom. Pesha v'chato mirma v'av.
That's super negative.
What?
That's a super negative way to live.
No one's saying that he's living that way. He's right now, he's doing some introspection. He's standing in front of Hashem. Doesn't mean that this was 24/7 the way he walked around with. But now he's opening himself up. He's opening himself up. If I cleanse myself with snow, with the water of snow, I guess that's like they used to do. The tzaddikim used to do all kind of sigufim. They would roll in the snow, I guess. I purified my hands. I don't know, bars, a pit of water. Not sure. As I bereshas chaton ilkadati. The machshavoisai, in my thoughts, as I bereshas chaton, I was trapped in my sin. Mine nitpashti. I think I put putrid water. Shekhi soisam in my hashvasa. V'tiavuni shalmoisai salmoisai. I don't know what that means. Salmoisai is my clothing. I don't know what tiavuni toiv. Maybe vayecha libi vayitar kvoidi. Prayerful. That's moisai rofu. My bones are loose. V'yodai rofu. V'kamayim nishpachti. Dispart the kol atzmoisai v'katzel kintoisai nelochti v'ka'arvin in arti. It sounds like he's just describing that when he opened his mouth to speak to Hashem, he's realizing how far he is from being able, or that's proper for him to express himself when he's so far away, when he's so full of sin. Now again, Ron, we find in a lot of places, right? We know the Chazal describes Averis, let's say, of Gedolim, of people in Chumash and stuff, right? And we understand that it's on their level. On their level, that sin. For us, it might even have been a mitzvah. I mean, it's like held up to a very high expectations because they were so great. The greater you are, so
yeah, but that concept just makes those people you can't connect to something like that. It's like, well, I'm not good enough to be there, so it makes the content material not as shy. It's like, all right, doesn't apply to me.
What I'm trying to say is that this paragraph, for example, everybody says it. Anyone who's going to say it when he approaches Hashem and he does some introspection, he's going to do it on his level. So even if the words are the same, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the same for each person. A great person will also, because he'll hold himself he'll take himself to task for what we would consider relatively small things, and he will hold himself to a much higher bar and consider it terrible things. So therefore, when he's because he's so great and he does appreciate, do we really appreciate we're in front of Hashem? Do we appreciate we're talking to Hashem? Do we tremble? When we take 3 steps forward? When we take a nice trip to the Hoshman Esrei and wake up in my feet. So each person may express it this way, but he's going to express it on the level that he's at. And for a very great person, he's going to hold himself to a very high bar, and he's going to consider it a very big sin, even though for us, what he's holding himself up for as a sin may not be a sin for us. That's all I'm just saying. These are all sparring psukim. I'm tremendously embarrassed, not able to pick up my eyes to look at you. Lift up my head. I remember your laws, and I regret what I did. You're a great king. Right? And he's saying, and we know the pasuk says, someone who admits his wrongdoings and leaves, and he does tshuva. Idui, he's Yerucham. Hashem has mercy on him. I'll be my sins to Hashem. Perhaps he'll lift it, he'll forgive me. And I'll find in my heart to turn to you, to daven to you, levakesh mechila, and request mechila v'lidrei slicha v'lishol kapora. I'm turning to the midah of your rachamim, because in din I have no chance. I'll prepare my nefesh and my boss. I guess I'm going to say, Hashem lekein v'lekev tovei lefanach tefillah seinu. Right? We say this in after Shemona Esrei. We say by Slicha Salat. If you're Sfarad, you say Tovei Lefanach v'Savat T'Salam Etchino Seinu. Don't look away from my tchina, my tefillah. She'enon Razei Ponim She'eref V'Dor Hazeh. I'm not stubborn about this. Loimer Lefanecha. No, I'm not saying in front of you, Hashem lekein v'lekev seinu tzadikim anachnu v'lo chatanu. I'm not saying that we're righteous. And we didn't say, in fact, we did. I'm admitting. And I'm asking for forgiveness. I sinned by, I guess, saying and by action. I've been mevaza, the choik. Hukim. Gozalnu mishpat v'tzedek, Hastom mishpat v'tzedek, derachnu kim shuchas, kim Shuchas Edek. Hefranu bris fachoik. I've gone against all the bisim I made that Hashem made with us. Fachoik v'hirbinu pesha lein choik. The many sins. Zonachnu toiv haresa. I've left the good that you taught us. Parashnu. He's doing a vidu. Parashnu resha sonesa. I've done Resha that you hate. A final sheker mirma. I've joined to it sheker and mirma. Yatznu oven ba'ashma. Kilinu yemenu b'havli oilam. I've let my days go with the Havle Olam, waste. Lo Zachanu, and I didn't remember Ki Tivienu B'Mishpah Kol Nelam, that you're going to, at the end, judge me. You're going to take us. You're going to judge us on everything that we forgot even. Ma'asnu Musar Hadas. We've been moyes, we've turned away from the Musar, what our minds are teaching us. Nayalnu Mechokma Midas. Nayalnu, I think, means we're weary from Chokma and Das. We've turned away from your righteous laws. Ozavnu Orches Chukecha. Panino Kolchem Deisenu, we've turned rather to all of our desires. Solanu b'metzules tavesenu. We've enveloped ourselves in the depths of our taivas. Kafatznu peh mehochiach. We've held ourselves back from rebuking or from rebuke. Racha pinu b'niv avlo yatriach. Rather, we've opened our mouth with speech. B'niv avlo, wrongdoing. Yatriach, shout. Shevavnu mishuva nitzchas tiavnu kol ish teichachas. This is the bakosha, right? This is, I guess, his tshuva. Please, it should be your will that you should forgive us on all the sins and all the pshayim. You've been there for me from I was born. From when I came out of the womb, oh God, and if you don't pardon me, if you see some shine, forgive my pshayim. So who else could I turn to? I have no father beyond you. Ki ovi vimi azavuni, but Hashem asaponi. I would say that in David Hashem Oivi. My parents have left me, and you've gathered me in. I don't know what afaftani means, but with your good, from when I've come into existence, if the master won't have mercy on his Eved and forgive him, who could the Eved turn to if not his master? He's totally under his control. If the Yotza, the Creator, won't have mercy on his actions, on what he made, so who, the one that is created, the one who's created, who could he turn to? Who could he daven to? Who could he cry out to? And with what could he find favor to the one who made him? In other words, how can I find favor to Hashem? If not, the only way I could be Misratz Hashem is if I run. If I run to Hashem's Rachamim and the doorways of his chesed, I go there regularly. That's why I turn to. I can only turn to those mitos. I'm like the servant, the slave, who turns to his master. So to my eyes, I turn to you. I have nobody else but you. And there's no one who knows the illness, the nega of my heart besides you. So, pardon. Chaneni is matnas chinam. Through your chesed, with your overabundance of rachamim, erase my averas, kiata kanisi, kil yosai, tisukeni bebetanimi. Haloi kechelov hitachtani. These are mam's psukim and tilim. I don't know exactly what they mean. The kagvina hikpesani, you formed me. Like cheese that curdles, that becomes hard. And then you formed me with skin and flesh, about so much to give them psychaponi, bones and sinews. You gave me life. You're the only one I could turn to. If I don't run to you, there's no one else to go to. Ve'im chatosi ushmatani mavoini loisinakeni. And if you don't clean me from my averas, so where am I going to go from your spirit? There's no place for me to run. Hashem's everywhere. I have nowhere to go. There's no other safe place. Mimesak Shemayim, Shamat, if I fly to the heavens, that's where you are again. These are talking about Tzia Shol Hineka. If I go to the hole, you're there also. Esa Kanfei Shochar Eshkina Bach Visyom. If I go to the ends of the oceans, Gam Sham Yodcha Tanchen Mitzachizeni Menecha. There too, your hand will lead me. Your right hand. If I'll say that I'm in the darkness, and even night is dark for me, but darkness has no meaning to you. You, the night is like the day. If you do act with me based on my actions, Ezra, who could I run away? Who could I flee to for help? To turn to who could go daven for me? If I'm going to try to go to those people who are alive, they're not. They're all full of sins themselves. If I turn to those who have died already, that they should go and plead for me. I guess saying I know that they can't speak for me. If I cry out to the malachim, I ask them to daven for me. Will you listen to them? Because of what they call out to you, you're going to forgive me? Okay, I think we have to stop. And Mitzvah Hashem will continue tomorrow. Well, I'm suggesting that if